this title could be fun to play and really exciting to watch. Advanced Warfare was the last CoD I actually somewhat followed the CDL. I didn't like follow it or have really favorite teams, but I remember specifically watching, I think the grand finals back then, or like the last tournament or one of those big tournaments. I watched actually like hours of it because it was so entertaining and exciting, because Uplink was in Advanced Warfare, and that is the most hype, exciting game mode in Call of Duty history, I think, to watch competitively. It is just so exciting. It's going back and forth down to the last second. Uplink is a lot of fun.
Activision devs do not play their own game. It's not your dad doesn't support you.
You should know. You worked at a coffee shop, you stupid bitch.
My name is Casey, and absolutely not fucking Tanner, because my parents don't hate me that much.
Hey, did they have just 8 patches lined up, but they just didn't release them because they were on break? No, you moron kids.
Then we'll, of course, get into it. Change your fucking name and get scammed. He's feeling under the weather.
I probably won't say another word until Stay Humble, so have a good pod, Raz. I'll be here listening.
Got it. We are live. Welcome, boys and girls, to the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast, episode number 269. Nice. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. I am joined, as always, by my good friend Tanner. Tanner, how's it going, buddy?
Pretty good.
Pretty good, huh? How does it feel to be on the new big screen? Because we have a new overlay here.
Is this new? I thought it was the same.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people thought. We got the new overlay finally. We did a fundraiser for a new podcast overlay a couple months ago, and we got like $15 or something. So that was cool. Thanks, guys. And then we purchased it, ironed out some details, and finally we've set it up. We wanted to have it set up prior to MW 2, in fact, and now we do. It is the same layout, the same kind of format as our old one. It's just a lot more, it's a lot cleaner, frankly. It's got our logo nice and big. It's got the same color scheme as our logo, and we took out a lot of unnecessary details that were very live streaming focused, and no one watches our live streams anymore, and fuck you guys.
Or subs, yeah.
Yeah, so we have like top tier, last sub shit, and you know, as we move more and more toward recorded shit, we're gonna be going to YouTube too. We will still be live streaming, but you know, our focus is kind of going away from that. And when we do end up going to YouTube, I think we are going to bring back alerts for super chats and like new members and stuff, but we're gonna have them in a more, it's gonna be in a more refined way, which, you know, keep your eyes open for that. But the YouTube switch has not happened yet, obviously, but we are using the new overlay. Let us know your guys' thoughts on the new overlay, because if there are things we should change, we can, and maybe we will, with this little thing. But I'm quite a big fan of it, and yeah, and I think it just looks, it looks a lot more, again, it's like a lot more minimalistic, a lot more professional.
Yeah, it'll look better on YouTube for sure. More, like you said, podcast focus instead of just like video game live stream focus looking.
Right. Yeah. I quite like it.
No more last cheered, last subbed, last followed, all that's gone. It's just very clean.
Yeah, because on our last overlay...
I haven't had a Twitch follow in 6 months, so...
Yeah, there was just too much going on the old overlay. Like, there were so many words on it, and now there aren't that many words. And I know you guys can't read, that's why you're listening to a podcast. And you can, even that is a struggle for you to just, like, comprehend a sentence, right? As we can tell from the TikTok comments and YouTube Shorts comments we get. We are the Know Nothing podcast, by the way. And we will be talking about that, actually. But anyways, really? Yeah, let us know your thoughts on the overlay, if you like it, if you don't care, if it doesn't matter to you. We still went through the labor of having the big screen and the little screen, because we could have just had both of our webcams be the same size. It would have been a lot easier for us. But I like this. I think this is a nice little touch. I think it sets us apart a little bit. But anyways, thanks to those of you on a serious note who did contribute to that fundraiser. That did help. And yeah, any feedback on it would be great. Now, today, as far as the episode goes, oh fuck, what was I gonna do? No!
What are you gonna do, man?
I was gonna write something down. Fuck me, man. God damn it. There's something I wanted to like put in board meeting or something that I wanted to change or add or think about changing.
Something to do with YouTube alerts like you were just
Probably,
mentioning?
yeah, or the overlay or something. Fuck me. What was it, dude? Oh god.
Yeah, I don't know. Figure it out though.
I'll actually never know.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. But anyway, whatever. Welcome to the show. Today we're doing an episode. There are a couple things to talk about, I guess. We have a couple announcements to get into. And then after that, there are some things to talk about. Frankly, not too much. This is kind of to be expected. Once again, and now I'm going to stop saying it. This is the last time I'm going to mention it. Oh, dumbest TikTok comment. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, so it wasn't anything to do with that. Let's see. Let's find the fucking Dropshot podcast. I have a fantastic YouTube comment to show you guys, and I really don't want to forget to find it. So
Don't want to forget, huh?
Let me find this before I forget again. Let's see. Yeah, this is just fucking an absolute beautiful comment, and we'll get into it. But before that, a couple announcements. Yeah. So first of all, with new patrons, so we've made it. Tanner mostly has made it a point to really belabor all the new patrons, and we're done doing that. So here's the deal: when we get new patrons, we're gonna thank you, but we're gonna fucking fly through it now. We are done spending 20 minutes on our new patrons and roasting the fuck out of you guys. Do you deserve all the roasting? Of course you do. Many of you have shit names. You've made up shit names, and you've uploaded a profile picture to Patreon. All of these things are insane. Especially having a Patreon avatar. I still don't understand. It's unforgivable to me that any of you do this, and you deserve to be shit on for it. But frankly, we don't have the time, and we're not going to do it anymore. And also, no one gives a fuck except the people themselves. So starting now, we will be thanking all of our new patrons. We will be flying through it though. So just fair warning, that is now happening. So if the only reason you're going to patreon.com/thedropshot is so that we can like give you 30 seconds of attention, first of all, seek help. And second of all, that won't be a benefit you get, if you could call it that anymore. You should be going to patreon.com/thedropshot for bonus episodes of the podcast, maybe. Or perhaps you want ad-free episodes of the podcast. Maybe that's what you would be more interested in. You can go there as well for that. Maybe you want them early access. That would be a great reason to go to patreon.com/thedropshot. But for us to shit on your dumb fucking Patreon name, that is no longer a reason for you to go to patreon.com/thedropshot. There are better reasons, and you should be going for those. So keep that in mind. With that said, welcome to our new gold patrons. Fuck. I wanted to read them all fast as like a joke, super fast. I laughed too early though. But
ruined it, yeah.
Anyway, welcome to our new gold patrons. T-Wolf, change it. Thomas B, Chuck W, and Steven spelled wrong V. Boys, thank you very much. Our new gold patrons. We've also got a new platinum patron. I wish I was still roasting names. Francisco LR the Third.
No. We gotta stop on that. No.
You gotta
we
stop
can't
on
let that pass. We can't let that just go by us, man.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
The Third?
The Third, yeah.
Oh, fuck you, Francisco. I don't even want you to be a patron, honestly. Please actually cancel your subscription right now.
If you're going to be a patron and you're the third, like you're a fucking duke, then at least join at Damascus, right? Hey, if you're a part of a royal family, at least join at Damascus, man. Come on. What are we doing here, Francisco?
Oh my God.
So anyway, Francisco, welcome. Cocky Kev upgrading as well.
This is a terrible episode to end that on.
Platinum. Yeah, well,
Cocky Kev.
You can do whatever you want, man. No one's stopping you.
Jesus Christ.
We also got some new annual gold patrons, Phantom and Brunny Lover. Okay.
What's Brunny?
I don't know.
Okay.
Welcome, boys.
Cool.
And thank you. Those are our new patrons. So very much appreciate that to all of you who signed up or upgraded. We appreciate it. Once again, bonus eps, ad-free eps, early access eps, monthly hangouts, and more. Check it out. Patreon.com/the Dropshot's the best way to support the show. We have been getting a lot of new patrons. I think for a couple reasons. The overhaul and MW2 coming up, man. It's a great time to join. It's an excellent time to join. And I think a lot of people are tapping into that. So to all of you new frogs, welcome and thank you. Much appreciated. Now, next, quickly, dumbest TikTok comment of the day. This is not a TikTok comment. This is a YouTube comment. But we posted a YouTube video, obviously, of the podcast. This is from episode 267, in which we talked about a lot of things. One of which was Censor, Doug Censor Martin, basically scamming his audience for like 600 subs, and kudos to him for doing that by saying he's going to expose a bunch of cheaters, and then he exposed some guy who does pubs in Vanguard, and that was it. So we talked a little bit about that, and someone was very upset at this, and they had a comment for me, which I found deeply amusing.
Little ironic, huh?
It's a little ironic. He said, LOL, the Know Nothing, and we'll get into that, podcast no one cares about, calling a pro CDL player with millions of followers and notoriety, millions of notoriety, washed up, is what the comment says. Now, what's interesting about this comment, which is a fine comment to make if you're mad, that's cool, but definitely if you're gonna make this comment, right? If you're gonna say we are a Know Nothing podcast, right? You should definitely know the difference between KNOW and NO, right? Like knowledge versus negative, right? And he said, guess what? The wrong one. NO hyphen nothing. The know nothing. The not nothing. The not having nothing podcast. And hey,
that is true. We do have nothing. The not having nothing. Yeah, it's kind of true,
well,
man.
it's like a double negative.
Yeah.
You know? So that wouldn't make the most sense. I think he meant like we don't know anything. Like know nothing.
Yeah, I mean we don't. Yeah, he's not wrong.
Which is perhaps true, but we do at least know how to spell no correctly.
Yeah, by the way, very interesting he brought this up because I'm not kidding. When we talked about the censor stuff, I made it a point to not get super negative because I know how CDL kids are because they're all childish, and I knew they were going to rage. So there are some certain things I threw in there when we talked about Censor. I specifically stated because I was like, I don't want to piss off all these CDL kids. Like I remember I specifically said something about like you know, he's washed by CDL standards, better than I'll ever be, better than I am for sure, but he's washed by CDL standards. He can't compete in the pro league anymore. That's been proven. He's tried the last 3 or 4 years and just can't do it. So he is technically washed in the CDL scene. I don't care that he's number 1 in pub ranks. Again, I will never be number 1. I'll never be top 500 in pubs ranked play. But hey, he's washed by CDL pro standards, so fuck you. That's what I think about that, man.
Which is such a... I don't even know this. The only reason I believe that is because that's what everyone else says. I don't follow the CDL, but every single time Censor is talked about anywhere, everyone calls him washed up.
Yeah.
Like we're the only, like CDL fans say this. So this is one of the the detractors.
This is one of his
that,
subs.
I guess. Yeah.
He tier 3'd sub waiting for Nadia to get exposed, and then he didn't get it. So,
And then he coped on the TL and defended Doug and said,
Yeah, it's
but
like,
guys,
no.
the software just wasn't working.
No.
Just wait till next stream.
Yeah.
Wait
He's
till
not
next
washed
stream,
up,
guys.
man.
Yeah. Yeah, so he is fucking washed up and stay mad. And go to school one time. But anyway, I thought that was a glorious comment. Fantastically ironic. I fucking love when people are actually so condescending and at the same time so wrong about exactly what they're being condescending about. No, nothing. Like, he didn't use the wrong no when he was talking about something else. Like, I can't believe you guys don't know how good Censor is. That would be funny and insane to also get wrong there. But it wouldn't also be incredibly ironic. Just a beautiful fucking comment. So shout out to Alex Orff for that. Change it. For that comment, by the way. Just fantastic fucking content.
Yeah, thanks.
So thanks a lot, Alex. Shout out to you, buddy. And I know you're listening, by the way. You're a hate watcher. I know you're listening, and you're fucking seething. And maybe you're going to crack open a book. That would be great for you. And then you're going to join the Discord. You're going to be a Damascus patron in like 2 months. So I just want you to keep that in mind.
Yeah,
also.
Love you, Alex.
Remember this episode right now. Remember this moment. You will be a Damascus patron in like 2 months. This is step one on the road. Ask anyone. Ask anyone who is currently being scammed by patreon.com/thedropshot. It is just so obvious to me. So, Alex, look forward to you at the November Damascus hangout. Anyways, moving on. Tanner, do you, by the way, real quick, you see this? Do we have any messages? I don't know how to find the messages. I don't know how you find them.
Do you not know how to open up PayPal?
No, I do. Well, I do. And then there's never a message, and then you always find the messages.
Do you look on desktop or mobile?
Both. I looked on mobile today, and there was no message.
Okay, so who am I looking for? That guy. Okay.
This guy. Yeah. So you look for that.
There's a message. I can read it when it comes to it. Yeah.
All right. So we also got a couple generous contributions. First from Connor K. Very generously offline donated! ! Donate. You guys are always welcome to do that, by the way. Smile. From Connor K. He says, I listen on Spotify, and you guys do a lot of work, well, to make my boring commute a little less boring. Here's close to nothing with the 10 United States dollars. Connor, thanks, man. Really appreciate that. Very kind of you. Didn't need to do that. I'm glad we can make your commute better. And that's not close to nothing. That's good. I like it. I'll take it. You didn't need to do that. So we graciously accept, Connor.
You needed to do it, Connor.
It was required, yeah. So Connor, thank you,
gifts.
Buddy. Very much appreciated. And also, we got a contribution, a better one. Fuck you, Connor, from Cody K, who gave us an amount of money, and he had a message for us as well that I simply cannot find. But Tanner, what's
$20? Yeah, he's got a boy. Okay. Every word is spelled incorrectly, or he's shortening words like playing in years. He's shortening, so I hate this.
He was hammered
so much.
Drunk
Been playing 2 years and found good team playing with. We get wins, but they talk all the time. I really enjoy, spelled NJOY, playing silently, using pings, and get wins when playing with rando silently. How do you find silent quality teammates, or is talking mandatory? By the way, you still sound fat. Great, thanks, Cody. I don't know who he's talking to, me or you.
That's a great question. Yeah.
It's actually, I think you usually get called the fat sounding one, which is very odd to me. If I'm judging either of our voices, I would think my voice sounds like the fat kid, honestly. But whatever.
It's so hard to tell.
But I think someone before has said that to you, like your voice sounds like a fat voice. I'm like, that's very funny. Yeah. So, I mean, don't play Warzone if you're going to be silent, Cody. So your teammates are right. You should be talking. If you're scared to talk, maybe it's because you speak like you spell. That could be part of it. But I'm not really sure, buddy. You got to talk. You can't just live ping. You got to do both of them, man. So you shouldn't be sitting there playing Warzone silently. Unless you're talking about multiplayer, then yeah, mute everyone who fucking cares. But in Warzone, you are talking about Warzone, so you need to talk, buddy. Makes it a lot better.
So Cody,
you'll have a lot more fun if you talk too, honestly.
I'm going to start this answer with saying thanks for the $20, and also genius way to expedite your Q&A question. Because it'll work.
Seriously.
Hey,
wow. We should start doing that. Hey.
Oh, we're doing it. Yeah, we'll answer. Hey,
answer, man.
You want to send 20 United States dollars to !donate? You could do that. We'll answer your fucking question on the next Thursday episode. But so thank you for the $20, dude. Yeah, if you play. So first, the most important point, of course, is what's really cool about 2022. For all of Activision's faults, they have implemented the most basic of features into their games, which is like you can mute your teammates if you want. So definitely do that if you don't want to hear your teammates. That's totally fine. And it's very easy to do. And I find it hard to believe that wasn't your just immediate go-to, rather than sending us $20. Now I'm grateful that you made this mistake, obviously, right? Clear mistake. No refunds, by the way. But yeah, just mute them if you really don't want to listen to them. It's not hard. You don't need to find teammates who don't talk, because it sounds like you're playing with randoms. If you're not playing with randoms and your friends that you play with talk too much, tell them to shut the fuck up. If you like only want important comms, then tell them that. We've done that a couple times before, particularly in games where it matters. See, in Warzone, it also doesn't matter. That's what's interesting. Because like in Tarkov, if we're doing like 5-mans, Tanner mostly will be like, you guys have to like shut the fuck up. Important comms only, which is fair in that game because you like really need to sound whore. In Warzone, you're not going to hear anything anyway, so I don't know why this matters. But if you really needed to, just tell them. If you're playing with randoms, definitely just mute them, obviously. And then lastly, you're not going to do well without voice comms, period. You'll get pissed, shitted, and farted on by people using their words. It's like way better than just relying on pings and shit. There's a reason every good Warzone team like is in Discord talking, because it's efficient and good and makes sense. So if you'd rather play muted and do worse, that's fine. Just accept that you're going to do worse than you otherwise would, because voice comms are so fucking good. They're like a huge benefit in terms of like winning the game, obviously. So thanks for the $20 though, dude. Much appreciated.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Yeah, so there you guys go. If you guys have a question, we have an answer because we're 5 months behind in Q&A. Just donate at least $10 and we'll answer it immediately. So there we go. Yeah, that's a new strat. Pay to win.
Pay to win, indeed. Yeah, it's kind of like life. We accept bribes from anyone, really. I could be convinced that I fucking love G Fuel, for example.
I couldn't. Fuck you, G Fuel.
It's a joke. Okay, last announcement for Saturday. This week we are not going to be doing a Saturday episode. So we're going to do something else instead. Tanner had the idea. He messaged me. He said, "Hey, I'm really fucking lazy. I don't want to do my job. I'm a piece of shit. Even though I have no other obligations or responsibilities. Let's just not do an episode Saturday."
I have to get Kappa, man. What do you mean?
And I was like, that's a very interesting idea. I'm on board because I'm also lazy and a piece of shit. So this Saturday, what we're going to do, the real reason, honestly, is that there is not much going on right now, this week included. I had been expecting naively, it turns out, to get some more substantive information on MW2 or Warzone 2 approaching launch. I'm now fairly convinced we're not going to really learn much. We're going to probably learn about DMZ either before Warzone or before MW2 comes out, or like well into the launch of MW2. I don't know which. But that's probably like all the big information we're going to get at this point before launch. So that isn't happening anymore. I'm no longer under the misapprehension that we're going to be able to do a Saturday episode on some big info drop on MW2. Maybe, hopefully, but it doesn't look that way so far, at least. So this Saturday, we really wouldn't have had much to discuss. And therefore, what we are going to do is instead of doing like another Q&A episode, we're going to release a Patreon episode we've already done publicly. So we're really trying to push our Patreon right now. We think it's a really good time to do it. And for that reason, we're going to release our Warzone 2 leaks coverage of that metaphor tweet. And we've already talked about this. We did a Patreon episode on that tweet where there's going to be no AI on the map anymore, only in strongholds, the traditional looting and the loadout coming back and perks. We did a really long Patreon episode on that. We're going to release that publicly, and this is going to serve as some content for you guys on Saturday and as kind of a little preview of what our bonus episodes sound like. This is going to be exactly the same as the bonus episode we uploaded to Patreon, except we're putting ads in it. So get scammed. So if you've been thinking about joining the Patreon, maybe you've been thinking about getting bonus episodes, but you're not sure, or you're just lazy and you haven't kind of pulled the trigger, then take a listen to the Saturday episode we're going to be releasing. And if you enjoy that, that is a very stereotypical Patreon episode that was really good, and it's quite topical still, because we're talking about Warzone 2 leaks that are still, as of now, uncontested and unconfirmed also. So they're still just as relevant they'll be just as relevant Saturday as they were when we recorded the episode. It's a really good episode. And if you've been thinking about joining the Patreon, that would be a good little teaser for you to see if you really would like how the bonus episodes sound, because they all have the same kind of attitude as that one, which I thought was really well done. So on Saturday, that is what we're going to be doing in lieu of a regular asked episode. So keep your eyes open for that. And let us know your feedback on that for you non-patrons who haven't heard it yet. I'm very curious what you guys think of that. Now, in terms of what we're going to do next Saturday, I think so everything depends on how much info we get. But if we don't get anything real big by next Saturday, I think what we will do is a year in review episode for Warzone. We had this idea once upon a time of the State of the Game address. And this is before we had learned Call of Duty games are just largely dog shit. And you can only play very specific portions of each game. So you could play Warzone BR though, and then it's really fun. Sometimes, not right now, obviously right now. Or you could play multiplayer 10s or ground war only, but boots on the ground war, whatever. So we stopped doing the State of the Game addresses because we just weren't playing the games. And one thing we'd also done is a year in review. I believe we might have done one for Cold War. We will absolutely not be doing one for Vanguard. So let me first say that. We haven't played enough Vanguard to do that. And it would be the same episode we did on our first impressions, because the game didn't change. I mean, Vanguard came out, they added a laser gun, and then Vanguard will go away. That's it. Those are all the changes.
Well, it got worse, actually. It got worse with the fire and the lethals and the fire on my screen. And there were a bunch of things. It literally just got worse, the game.
Yeah.
Day 1 to day 14 was so much worse. And no one played it.
And no one played it, and none of you want to hear it. Yeah, so we will not be doing a year in review for Vanguard. However, for Warzone, I think that would be an interesting episode to do. I actually think it would be a really good episode. So I think next Saturday, we will probably do that, because the story of the downfall, the fall from grace that Caldera Warzone experienced is actually a very interesting story that I would really like to go into more detail on. I think it would be a really good episode. I think there's a lot to talk about there, because Caldera came out, people felt a certain way about it. And then it was just this glorious ascent. Oh, we got fucking balloons added. We got the parachute distance cut. We got the replating, quality of life change. We got the gas mask animation quality of life change. We got all this good shit. And then we reached the apex of the roller coaster, and then I was just at Splash Mountain, just going straight fucking down on the tracks.
Ooh,
I mean, straight down on the tracks. Then we got redeploy tokens, gulag extraction tokens, infinite self-reses. Buying back a teammate is $5. Gulag, you can't see anyone. Gulag, you can't hear anyone. Gulag, they say, is open in the middle, couldn't be less open in the middle. I mean, just a precipitous, straight downward fall. The likes of which I just did not expect and could have never predicted. So it's a very interesting tale. Caldera, like, released, got way better, and then got way worse, all inside of, like, sub 1 year. Yeah, it's actually fucking insane. So I think that'll be an episode we do next Saturday, unless we get a bunch of juicy info on some upcoming game, which again, I find kind of unlikely. But as far as this Saturday, once again, we will be releasing a Patreon episode we've already done publicly. Give that a listen. It's a really good episode. I really enjoyed doing it. So, yeah. Other than that, Tanner, anything to add here, buddy?
No.
All right. So that's it for the announcements. Let's get into this quote-unquote episode. If you're listening to the jingle, here it is. Drexler! Welcome back, buddy. With the Prime Gaming sub, 12 absolute months. Thank you, bro. 1 whole year, you did it, Drex. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. And call me Al! With the 29 months in a row, tier 1. Holy shit. I wish I could come to more live eps. You think you'll ever do any at night? I miss it. We do some at night occasionally, Al. Yeah, we will. We will. I think we should start trying to do all of our Q&A episodes in the evenings. Or most of them. I think that's a good idea. But Al, welcome back, dude, for the 29 months. Very much appreciated, brother. All right, welcome to the show. Today, we're talking about Call of Duty. So, not a huge episode today, guys, but there are a couple things to get into that are fairly interesting. The topic of the day, of course, is Advanced Warfare 2. People wiling on the TL about that. We're going to get into that. But first, patch notes, changes already in effect. Very little, if anything, here. Evidently, Cold War Zombies Halloween theme is returned. It is back as of like 3 hours ago at the time of recording this. That's cool. Zombies is already Halloween themed, so I don't know what else you do. Add jack-o'-lanterns and shit.
Well, yeah, it's the same thing they did last time. You know, there was like the little event last time. Let me see what it was. It's like,
Cold War Zombies.
Heads. Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking
jack-o'-lantern drops, pumpkin heads, scare packages, and spooky soundtrack. It's just it's like a little Halloween theme. This is for Cold War Zombies. I don't know if they did anything for Vanguard Zombies. Probably not, because that would be like creating something new, whereas Cold War is already in the game, so they just added that. Yeah. And then last time there was like a special Outbreak event. Not sure if that's the case this year, but yeah, basically just changed the theme up a little bit. So there's people that still main Cold War Zombies and play it day in and day out. So for those people, it's a cool little change of pace. Getting to that season. So that's cool.
Yeah, for sure. Very cool. Yeah. So, I mean, Cold War Zombies, it's the best part of Cold War. And the Halloween theme was fun. I don't know if we did play it. We definitely played it.
Uh-huh.
And we were very confused about what the fuck the scare packages were. I don't remember what they ended up being or what the confusion was, but I remember being very confused.
That's what I was thinking as I just read that. I'm like, I don't remember what the scare packages were.
I don't either, and I remember us trying to figure it out, and then Jax eventually figured it out somehow. I don't remember what it was.
Oh yeah, he's a fucking nerd, yeah.
Yeah, he's a fucking dork. But anyway, that's it. That's all that's changed, and I don't care. I'm fine with that. So now on to more interestingly, news and upcoming changes. So first of all, today we got the official Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 official launch trailer. It was 1 minute and 30 seconds. I watched it, and it was good. Which is exactly what I would expect. This is something we've said before, and I will stand by. There's never going to be a bad Call of Duty trailer. It's just never going to happen. whatever department makes trailers, you need to send those people to like development or to direction. Make them studio heads for each development team because they can actually do their jobs. This trailer was fucking good, dude. It got me super hyped. There was a lot of, I don't know if you got this impression, Tanner, but I definitely did. It felt fairly pandering to the communists who play video games these days, with a lot of like one of the lines is the American / British whatever have some Middle Eastern guy on his knees, execution style, in the fucking desert, and then Soap or someone is like, "Oh, you're the leader of a known terrorist organization," and then the guy on his knees looks up at the Western world and says, "I could say the same to you," which is just funny as fuck to me. The implication obviously being like, oh, the United States and, the British Empire, global hegemony, we're imperialist pigs.
We are terrorists.
A terrorist organization. And there are some legitimate, we can ask Drexler about this. In fact, he manufactures the drones. There are some legitimate criticisms you can raise about, the United States foreign policy. Particularly in Yemen, for example. But it still felt kind of pandery because that was not the only line. The other line, I think, was some lady was sitting down in a smoke-filled room and she was like, terrorism's good for business, especially when there's a war on drugs. Because then you're like not focused on terrorism. I was like, okay, again, kind of like a lib, pander moment. That's a good point, though. I mean, I don't disagree necessarily with either of the points. It just felt a little pandery to me. I don't know if that was the intention. I would not be surprised, though, because everyone who plays video games now is also a social justice warrior who reads a letter from the Birmingham jail every fucking morning and every night before they go to sleep. Or so they say. So, I don't know. It felt pandery. But besides that, it was really fucking good. It got me super hyped. But I also recognize, and I'll remind you all, hey, listen. The trailer and the quality of the trailer has absolutely no relationship to the quality of the game. And that's what I care about. So, temper your expectations. But what were your thoughts?
Yeah, so for one, if you're expecting to learn anything from this trailer, I was kind of hopeful. We didn't know what the trailer was going to be. It didn't really show us anything new. It wasn't actual gameplay. It was just a campaign trailer basically. So definitely got me more excited to play the campaign though. I did notice it's cool because the mission locations look very fun and diverse, which is, I guess, also how MW 2019 was. You had little desert missions in South America, Mexico, wherever the fuck it was, Brazil, something. And then you had other missions where they're scaling a skyscraper in downtown in some city that could be in the United States. I don't know where that was. So the locations look like they varied a lot, which is exciting to play through. You play as different characters throughout the campaign too. There were a few things I saw though that confirmed some guns that have been leaked for months, but I don't know if they were ever actually confirmed until now. We knew it, but I think this is the first time they basically specifically showed a lot of these. It showed the Deagle, it showed the Riot Shield, it showed the 725, it showed a SPR looking sniper rifle. So that was cool that we got confirmation on some of those things that were, we knew they were coming, but specifics. And so one other thing I noticed, by the way, in the trailer, I kept pausing it on certain scenes. I was watching things when it would show guns and shit. I would pause it to see if I could figure anything out from that. There's one scene that shows it very quick. It's two guys walking, holding a riot shield with their left arm, and their right hand, they're holding an SMG around the corner of it. So I'm a little worried that may be coming to multiplayer.
It'll be hip fire only. It'll probably be shit.
Well,
I hope. Am I coping?
You can set up absolutely. You can set up hip fire guns.
Yeah.
That could be fucking miserable. So
it could be.
Yeah, so I hope that's not in the game. Hopefully that's campaign only. But there's a lot of things they do for campaign only. But something like that, to like code that in, I feel like that could very well be in multiplayer. So Riot Shields will be fun this year. But other than that, yeah, it got me hyped. I didn't pay attention to like what you were talking about with what they were saying, really. I was just more looking at shit and pausing it every 2 seconds to look at things. So, but yeah, it was exciting. I'm excited to play the campaign. We got like 2 weeks from today now till it drops.
Yeah, for sure. So another thing also, Charlie Intel was tweeting about this too. There was the Call of Duty Twitter had tweeted out an MW2 PC trailer instead of the launch trailer, and then they like deleted it instantly. That might be back up now because Charlie Intel has uploaded the PC trailer themselves. I watched it. It is unremarkable. It's not some big scandal. The PC trailer, I don't know why that even needs to be a thing, but basically the PC trailer was different in that if you're a lore nerd, maybe there are some important things there. You can go watch it. Go to Charlie Intel's Twitter and look at their videos. They tweeted it today, the PC trailer. Maybe there's some like weapons there that aren't in the official one. But again, I don't care what weapons are in the game. There are going to be snipers, shotguns, SMGs, and assault rifles, and like DMRs. I already know that. I don't really care what skin they have because they're going to be guns that shoot bullets, and that's all that I give a fuck about because I'm an adult. But for you lore nerds, maybe there's something in there. But besides that, there's no like reveal of game modes or anything of that kind. And also, the only real difference was like, there's like 4K and ray tracing, and there's going to be ricochet in at launch. Like those were like the PC specific things that were in that trailer. These are things we all already knew. So it's not really worth watching in my opinion, but it is out there. But there's no big scandal there with why they deleted it. It was an unremarkable delete. But
yeah, they did something like that when Caldera dropped. I remember when they first started talking about it in that one video where they're like, Warzone's headed to the Pacific. There was a part at the end where they talked about PC specific, and it was kind of the same thing. It kind of just, there's more settings. We know that. There's ray tracing, like you said. But there's one thing I noticed from this trailer this time that I thought was really cool. So PC is getting this new feature that I don't think has ever been in a COD, where you can search settings. So they have like graphics pulled up, and as we complained about with how terrible the UI was and you can't find anything, there's like a quality tab, there's another tab under graphics, and then there's another whole page that's like advanced graphics with other tabs. So there's one part they pull up here, and there's a search bar in the settings. So if you're looking for field of view, you can start typing field of view, and it starts showing, you can type in the word field and it'll show every setting that has the word field in it. So that's really cool. That makes it pretty quick to, get to settings. There's things where, I mean, it literally took like a couple minutes to find a specific setting I was looking for in the beta. So if you looking for something very specific that you can't find in anything, you can search that real quick. Just quicker to access that. Makes things easier. So this honestly may have been added because of all the UI complaints, and I did notice the UI was the same though, other than that in these settings. This could have been recorded a long time ago too, but this search feature was definitely not in the beta on PC that I ever saw.
Yeah, I feel like we would have seen that.
That's a cool little touch this year. That could be handy. Especially for like noobs that don't know a whole lot other than like, oh, how do I change my field of view? I just got a PC. They can search things like that, maybe make it a little bit easier on themselves.
Yeah, true. I think it's nice. I just wish it wasn't necessary. You shouldn't need a search function in your fucking settings. Your menu should make sense. However, given that the menu doesn't make sense, I am glad that there is like a search feature that is pretty cool. I just find it kind of funny that they have it, but it's nice. I think the more noteworthy thing is that they've added a PC specific feature at all. That's kind of surprising that they did that. Well, actually not really. Because a lot of people are on PC now. It's not like this is KBAM specific, so kind of makes sense. But this is cool. It's a good catch. I didn't notice that, but I'm glad it's in there. So, were we going to do something on this, Tanner?
We were, yeah. I think this is what we were going to do it on. But there's a lot more than just that.
A lot more than just this?
Yes, there are like a few pages worth of shit.
Yeah, okay. All right, so next we're going to talk about this article that was published on the 30th of September on charlieintel.com. Warzone 2 DMZ mode objectives and missions list leaked. So Tanner and I have actually looked at the source of this leak, the what is it? Telegram alt-writer. What's the website? What's it called?
Yeah, he posted them on Telegram.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of them were on Twitter too.
Yeah. So we did a Patreon episode talking about like Ralph's Valve Telegram leaks that Charlie Intel did not cover at all. And it's weird that they're talking about this one. I don't know if it's because this is more popular now or what, but we are going to talk a little bit about this right now. So full disclosure, we're going to go into more detail on this probably on Patreon at patreon.com/thedropshot and do a very deep dive full episode on this set of leaks. But we thought we would mention it right now as well, so that, you know, you guys can kind of stay up to date. And if you want like way more info on this, we'll talk more about it on Patreon, because I'm probably going to have a lot more to say than I'll talk about right now. So here's what the article says. New leaks regarding Warzone 2's DMZ has revealed the potential missions and objectives that players will be competing in the extraction style mode. They say some more things. So let's see. So here are like some of the things. So they say some things about it. Every leaked DMZ mission and objective. The following is a list of all the leaked DMZ objectives and missions, but as these are leaks, this code, symbols, can be seen throughout. This is a placeholder for an unconfirmed number, so keep that in mind when going through the list. So some of the DMZ missions and objectives. Extract X enemy grunt weapons. And then here's the description in the files. We need to acquire intel about how Al-Qatala is arming its grunts. Bring back some of their weapons so we can analyze them. The goal is to extract with X number of enemy grunt weapons. Like, there's one example. Capture Y SAM sites. And then there's more descriptions. Extract with X cash in one match. Extract a hailstorm, which is a special shotgun. Acquire and extract a hailstorm shotgun. And you can use it to gain some goodwill with the feds. You are feds. Kill a boss and extract their weapon case. Extract with a full backpack. Empty X number of vehicles of gas. Etc. Travel to Hydra Y times. So there are a lot of things like this. And it talks about vehicles. It talks about bosses. It talks about grunts. It talks about a backpack and having a full backpack. It talks about specific weapon blueprints. It talks about, I don't know if I mentioned this, enemy grunts, as opposed to like enemy bosses, as opposed to enemy players, which it also talks about as well. So a lot of this does sound very similar to Escape from Tarkov, which is what this has been compared to. But there are a couple things in here, I haven't read any of those things yet, that imply that this is not going to be very similar to Tarkov at all. And the more I learn about this, the less I feel like it's going to be a Tarkov related, despite all of the similarities. What are your kind of thoughts on this?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of reading through some more of these, like complete X hunt contracts. So intercept enemy communication in order to find location of hostile faction operators. That should be other players, I believe. Use this intel to eliminate enemy squads. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is obviously very, very similar to Tarkov. A lot of these ones were the ones we covered originally in that episode like a month ago too, like the SAM sites, the weapons. A lot of these are older ones that we already knew about. But just, again, it keeps coming down to everyone talks about those missions, but not one person has ever mentioned what's happening with DMZ outside of it being in the match. What do you do with all the shit you extract? Not one person has ever talked about this, and it's pissing me off so much. Not Charlie Intel. No one has ever even questioned how all that works, and that's the one thing I want to know. Because these are all missions where, like Tarkov missions, you extract with this, and then you turn it in. So that you don't keep as loot anyways. But like it says here, extract with a full backpack. Okay, what am I doing outside of the game with this full backpack? That's what I want to know about DMZ.
You know what too, Tanner.
That's the only thing I care about now.
It's actually possible that there isn't a stash at all.
That's what I'm starting to lean towards. And instead, these are just missions that give you what? Fucking charms, skins, XP,
Yes.
battle pass XP, and there is no out of the game. But then what's the point of having a backpack and leaving with loot? More XP or something, maybe?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Honestly.
That's what
I
it's
don't
really
know.
starting to lean towards, because how has there been no leaks on anything outside of being inside of the DMZ match?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing has been talked about.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm starting to lean towards also. And that would make a lot more sense, because that's way more casual focused than Tarkov is, where you have to decide if you want this little fucking, tube of toothpaste or if you want this flathead screwdriver.
Right.
And which one sells for more,
Yeah.
That's a lot more basic.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a lot more basic doing it this way. So that is starting to make sense, which of course will be a massive letdown. And then this mode will be, like you said a long time ago, a new variant of Plunder.
Exactly. And this is what we originally have always been saying, is like, this is not going to be as hardcore as Tarkov. Like, not even close. And it would not surprise me if there just wasn't a stash at all. And extracting with things, they just like disappear, and you get XP for having X number of slots filled in your backpack. Maybe every whatever tool is like 20 XP if you extract with it. Every gun is like 50 per slot. There are like so many ways they could do this without having a stash that I am kind of leaning toward that. And the idea of it being full loot is getting more and more remote to me as well. Yeah. And therefore, the idea of it being fun is getting more and more remote to me the more we learn. Now, that's not to say that this is all like we are writing this off completely. There's still so much we don't know that it's possible this will be fun. It won't be as hardcore as Tarkov, I can guarantee that. But there are ways in which it could be close enough to where it could be like really fucking fun that are still possible. But it just doesn't look that way so far, based on what the leaks have been saying, and based on what we know officially, which is very, very little. So
yeah, I
don't know, and we will keep you guys posted. Now, this article, by the way, did not talk about the Telegram, the source document for this article has way more shit than this in it.
There's like 20 times this amount. Yeah, there's a lot.
So if you do want to hear more about our thoughts on this and have us go way deeper, we'll be doing that on Patreon this month. Patreon.com/thedropshot. Unless we get an official huge DMZ info drop, and then we'll do an episode on that instead. But that is interesting. And yeah, I think the biggest thing you guys should take away from this is that if you were really hoping for it to be like Tarkov, you should be more worried now. It's not for sure fucked. It's not for sure another Plunder. It's looking more like it will be. So
yeah, because I feel like it's, for me at least, defeating the whole purpose of an extraction style mode if there's nothing to do with the gear you take in outside of the game other than like gaining XP or something. Because it's like, at that point, then why am I loading into a match to play a bunch of AI and some other players to do some quests that give me some XP when I can just go play Warzone against actual players? More players. I don't know. It's starting to make less and less sense to me.
Yeah. There's still just so many questions, like we said. So I don't know. It's hard to say. But anyway, moving on. Today's podcast is sponsored by Kolosseum, the fantasy football of Warzone. Many of you who have been listening are probably already familiar with Kolosseum. Users can enter the Friday freebie contest for free every single week. All you got to do is go to KOLOSSEUM.co and pick 6 of your favorite streamers, Warzone streamers, while remaining under a salary cap. We've even got recently added our very own McBango grinding out games. He was on my squad last week, and he was the highest point earner on my squad, in fact. So you can pick him up. They're adjusting his price, which annoys me. Keep him cheap, or give us a discount on him for our salary cap. Anyway, you take these 6 streamers, you remain under the salary cap. They earn you fantasy points based on all their kills and victories for that weekend. And then the top 5 dream squads with the most fantasy points wins a percentage of the pot. New signups increase the free $75 prize pool by $5 up to $150 every week. You can use the little stats thing when you're drafting your team to see who the players are, how well they score, etc. When you're making an account, use promo code Dropshot and sign up whenever you want, every week. It's free to enter. You win real money. What's not to love? Go to KOLOSSEUM.co, make an account, use creator code Dropshot.
All right, so next up here, this is coming from 2 leakers, Ralph's Valve and Ghost of Hope. Both are claiming Sledgehammer Games is working on Advanced Warfare 2 for their 2025 or possibly 2026 game release.
So really quickly, before we continue, is this a jetpack COD or was it boots on the ground with like wall running or some shit?
It's like the jetpack type COD.
Full on jetpack.
I mean, what do you can't, it wasn't like that. It's like you can kind of like double jump and like you're floating in the air for a while. It's not like you can just like stand there and float for like 20 seconds or something.
Got it. Yeah.
It's
so
like,
it is
I think it was
jetpack COD though, yeah.
Yeah, it's like usually people call it like advanced movement, like jetpack style COD.
Okay.
So yeah, so basically they wrote an article, but nothing really needs to be said about the article other than Sledgehammer's sequel to Advanced Warfare has been slated to release in 2025. So he doesn't, claim, of course, he's a leaker, so he's getting this from some sort of source. Leading up to the release of Vanguard, Sledgehammer's team originally had the desire to further explore their world and make several sequels involving Vanguard's cast of characters. Sledgehammer did say that when Vanguard came out. They wanted to make like 2 more Vanguard games. After
more time travelers?
Yeah, so this leak in that regard makes sense because Vanguard did so terribly that it would make sense to just change it up completely. So, again, that's from Ralph's Valve and Ghost of Hope.
Crossing more borders that don't exist.
Yeah, right. So Tom Henderson has came out. He has his own website now, insider-gaming.com. He also wrote an article. But basically what he said is, here's what they said, they're leaks. At this time, I can't confirm these leaks to be true at all. I don't know if it's true or not, but I haven't heard any of this, so I can't corroborate on whether or not this is true. So that was taking Twitter by storm a couple days ago, and then Charlie Intel kind of put an end to everything they said a couple hours later. I've heard there's no Advanced Warfare 2 currently in development at Sledgehammer Games, despite the rumors today. Not fully clear what Sledgehammer Games is working on. So,
okay, I have a lot of thoughts on this. So the only leaker I trust is Tom Henderson.
Yeah.
And by the way, here we should have done this sooner. Insider-gaming.com, is that the URL?
Yes.
Make it your fucking homepage. That's friend of the pod, dear friend of the pod, Tom Henderson's website. Give him traffic. He's an absolute Chad king, and the only insider you should be trusting. And we want to support Tom. We couldn't really shout anything out. He's like, "Oh, go look at my fucking tweets." When he came on our podcast, I was like, "Come on, man. I don't know. I want to help out a little more than that." So now he has a website, so you guys could go to that if you want some reputable leaks from these leakers. And I found his comment, Tom Henderson's, interesting. Because sometimes, a lot of times, there will be a leak that's like, for example, giraffes will be in Verdansk under the airport, and they'll fuck your ass if you get close to them. Like, that was a leak we got, roughly. And then Tom was like, this is absolutely not coming to Warzone. Don't believe it. And then there are other leaks where someone else leaks them, and Tom is like, yeah, I've heard the same thing. This is probably true. And then there are leaks like this, where him saying something about it, but also not saying that it's not true, is telling. It's interesting. Because if this was like bullshit, as far as he knew, he would say that. Or he would just not say anything at all yet until he learns more. But it sounds like, from what we know about Tom, is he reached out to his contacts and was like, hey, what's the deal with this AW2? And then they were all like, I have no idea. Or maybe it's happening, I'm not sure. But none of his contacts told Tom this is horseshit. Because if they did, that's what Tom would have said. So it is a little more reputable for that reason. But it's also not confirmation that Tom's heard the same thing, which makes it less reputable. So I don't know what to think of this leak. And another question I have is, why would we be getting info and leaks on the 2025 game before the 24 game? That's kind of weird.
I mean, it's not really a leak. It's just saying what it's based on. That's about it.
Sure.
It's not much of a leak.
Sure.
There's already been leaks of Treyarch's game months ago. Yeah, there's been leaks about Treyarch's game months ago. It's nothing insane. Kind of like the same shit.
Like
it's based around like the Black Ops era again. Yeah, it's the same shit it always is.
I guess maybe we have already heard about. Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So what Tom actually said in the article, yet to corroborate these claims. However, it could make logical sense following a disappointing release of Call of Duty Vanguard.
Which is another good point that I was going to say. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. They might have planned to do more Vanguard shit, and then Activision was like, you guys aren't doing that again. That was a disaster. And it was like a failure by Call of Duty main title standards.
It definitely was a failure.
So it would make sense for them to be changing direction.
Yeah, so I think this title could be fun to play and really exciting to watch. Advanced Warfare was the last CoD I actually somewhat followed the CDL. I didn't like follow it or have like really favorite teams, but I remember specifically watching like I think the grand finals back then, or like the last tournament or one of those big tournaments. I watched actually like hours of it because it was so entertaining and exciting, because Uplink was in Advanced Warfare, and that is the most hype, exciting game mode in Call of Duty history, I think, and to watch competitively. It is just so exciting. It's going back and forth down to the last second, way more entertaining than even like, you know, Search, Hardpoint. It's just very entertaining, fast paced, watching how they play all that, because you kind of have to choose if someone's more attacking, if you keep one guy back to like defend, how all that plays out. I think there's a lot of team play that goes into it. Uplink is a lot of fun. So I am excited if it's coming back for that reason. That being said, one thing that I keep seeing all the Super Sweat K-BAM players want Advanced Warfare, which is odd to me. Because you think out of everyone, them that complain nonstop about aim assist would realize this game, I think, would not be fun cross input at all. This, I think, literally would be the worst Call of Duty to have cross input in. I think it would be almost unplayable at close range for K-BAM players. Like talking about what what's the Infinity Ward? What Pat Kelly has said about like we find the average controller players does way better than the average K-BAM player.
Right.
Casual K-BAMers would get fucking smoked in a game like that, where you have to aim both axes constantly up and down depending on where people are jumping. You can usually kind of do like these little like thrusts to like the right and left too, so you're like in the air, then you can like quickly move right or left. That is so difficult to track people on. And what all these people are thinking of is like, you know, TGD, Strafe, a lot of like the really good K-BAMers like, dude, Advanced Warfare would be so fun, I love this game. Yes, but you only played it against K-BAM players, or you were on controller and only played against controller players. I think this would be the most broken, lopsided cross input Call of Duty that we've had. If they could complain about aim assist in Warzone, this would be fucking miserable. Having some shitter perfectly track me through the air as I'm having to aim down to my left and then a little bit more over to the left to try to track this guy. I think it would be awful and unplayable.
I hear you, and you definitely could be right. The only thing I'm thinking, playing devil's advocate, is that in a jetpack COD, I feel like there just wouldn't be that many close range fights. And if there were, the jetpack wouldn't be relevant, except for that thrust thing, which is fair. That would be like the new slide cancel. You'd like thrust past somebody and camera them. In that case, yeah, controller's getting a way bigger advantage now than even like slide canceling someone really up close. But in a jetpack COD, outside of that scenario, I feel like the average engagement, even the average close range engagement, isn't going to be nearly as close, because you can be fucking above people and below them. So like right now, if you're 5 meters in front of me, you're also 5 meters away from me, unless you're on a box or something. But with a jetpack COD, if you're 5 meters in front of me, you could be 25 meters away from me, because I could be on the ground and you could be in the air. And at that distance, even though like on the x-axis you're just as close, on the y-axis you're way farther, So, or Z-axis. So you're like, so you're getting way less aim assist because everyone's farther away on average. Now, let me be clear. I never played a jetpack COD. I don't know how close the average engagement is. Common sense to me makes it sound like the average engagement would be a much farther away in like multiplayer, for example, than a boots on the ground game for this reason. But maybe that's not true. And then also, I don't know how strong the aim assist was, and I don't know how sticky it would be if I am 25 meters away from you, but it's only vertically. Maybe they have that in their algorithm or something. I don't know. So my point is that I absolutely, it's harder to aim when there's jetpacks, for sure. I just don't know if that would, I don't know if that really strong aim assist that many keyboard and mouse players complain about would be a bigger issue with jetpacks, because that advantage would be even wider, or if it wouldn't be as much of an issue because since you're farther away, the aim assist isn't nearly as strong or relevant. I don't know which of those is true. Like, I honestly have no idea. So it's possible it would be fine, but it's also possible that the average keyboard and mouse player would get totally ass fucked, as you said. That's totally possible. I'm just saying, I'm not sure that's true. We're going to be.
Yeah. Also, I mean, back then, the distance of a gunfight in Advanced Warfare compared to like MW 2019, I guarantee was way closer, literally because of the map design. The maps were still small in that game. Sure, you could go vertical, but it's not like you can float 50 feet in the air. So, and the maps were designed much smaller, 3-lane-ish style, whereas MW, you have these long-ass maps like Arklov Peak where you have way longer engagements anyways. So, I think it would all come down to the map design, if anything, to determine
That's
how
true,
close those gunfights are usually happening. So
that's true too.
I don't know. So I mean, that being said, I say all that, but this would still, I think, be a really, really fun pub COD to play if that wasn't an issue. If it was as strong as it is now and no stronger, I'm just worried they literally make it even stronger because people are exoing around and you need to have that sticky aim assist or then they're going to get destroyed constantly. That's the only thing that I worry about. But that being, like, this would be really fun for pubs, actually. I loved Advanced Warfare. Really fun game to play. Like, pub-wise, probably more exciting to play than, the last few CODs, but it's not casual focused at all. This would be, I think, really bad for sales. I think if they released Advanced Warfare 2, honestly, I think it would do worse than a Vanguard 2 would, sales-wise.
I don't know about that.
I don't know, man. Casuals did not like that game at all because there's a skill gap involved.
A massive skill gap, yeah.
Yes. So it would create a larger skill gap than any of the recent CODs, which would push the casual players away. I think a lot of them just wouldn't even buy it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard to say.
If you think of someone who's really, really bad, think of like a casual dad that plays on his console that's like 40s or 50s. He's like a 0.3 KD. He has way more fun playing Boots, Vanguard, going around, dying nonstop than he would trying to jetpack around in Advanced Warfare. That player specifically loves a World War II or like modern setting where it's just a typical Call of Duty shooter on the ground, and they would not like this game at all.
So here's another thing, though.
Advanced Warfare, the first time, I think, did not do good in sales either. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I think it did pretty poor compared to like the sales standards around those times.
Yeah. That's... I accept all of that. Yeah, adding a jetpack obviously is going to widen the skill gap because it's another axis of movement. It's another tool you're putting in everyone's belt. So good players are gonna exploit the fuck out of that tool, and they're just gonna gap kids that can't do that. That is definitely true. And Activision might think, well, we don't want too wide of a skill gap, but we still want jetpacks. So we're just going to make the aim assist like really, really good so that even if your movement's way better, you're still going to we'll shrink that skill gap more for you. That's one possible thing they could do, which I could see them doing, as you mentioned, Tanner. However, another possibility, and that's, by the way, that's like controller v controller shrinking the skill gap too. If there were no keyboard and mouse players, Activision would still have an incentive to make aim assist stronger when you add in jetpacks. because that means the better controller players are not getting as rewarded for being good with jetpacks as they could be with weaker aim assist. So like stronger aim assist is going to shrink the skill gap even controller v controller. And that's the most common fight between inputs because most people use controller. So there would be a reason for them to make aim assist stronger to disadvantage the good controller players as well. This is something we talk about a lot that most people don't even think about because everyone's very team focused. Like, I'm team K-Bam, I'm team controller. If you're a really good controller player, you shouldn't want super strong aim assist either, because then you can't gap other controller kids who can't aim for shit and they kill you just because the aim assist is really strong and they need that to kill you, but you wouldn't have needed it to kill them. So anyways, setting all of that aside, it is possible also they re-release an Advanced Warfare title in the Advanced Warfare universe and they just don't make the jetpacks as capable as they used to be. Like, okay, this is going to be Advanced Warfare 2 or 3, whatever, or like Advanced Warfare universe, but it's like the prequel. It's when the jetpacks are still like in the prototype stages and you can only like jump high or maybe do like a double jump, but you can't even hover. I could easily see them doing something like that to get the cool futuristic setting that they might want as from a sales perspective and a lore story perspective so they can play around in that universe, but then get rid of the jetpack issue that a lot of their casual players complained about. I could totally see them doing that. Just re-releasing Advanced Warfare just with like shit jetpacks that are barely even jetpacks. You know, I could see them doing something like that too. Because it would be hard to believe. I wish I had been more in touch with the scene at this time because I just don't remember or don't know. I never really, I wasn't in the scene at the time, but I would be surprised if like everyone fucking hated jetpacks and then they just did it again in 2025. That would be very surprising to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do you think? Do you believe it?
No. I cannot see Activision making another advanced movement or jetpack game, honestly, ever again. With how casual focused they tried to make the game, I can't see it happening. I do think it would be really fun to play. Could create really interesting version of Warzone.
What if they think SBMM would solve that issue for them, though?
Yeah, well, SBMM has been in every COD ever made.
Yeah, shout out to Chris Bullock, yeah. The pod.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question there, actually. But I don't know. I tried to find how well it did in sales. It was definitely not in the top 10 sales-wise of any Call of Duty game, but I can't find where it actually ranked. So I just don't think... I mean, I didn't buy that COD off rip. I had no interest in those games either, because like coming from someone who liked more like modern type Call of Duty, to have like an advanced warfare game with like that type of play style, I was not at all interested in. I think I only ended up getting it because like some friends were playing it or something. So that's why I bought it. And it actually ended up being pretty fun. But the average Call of Duty player, I think, would rather just have literally any normal shooter than a game like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I sort of believe it, honestly. Because, like, I hear everything you're saying, but I think Activision is also like, well, we never had as sophisticated of SBMM as we have now. I don't think people are going to get gapped super hard because our algorithm is super good now. But then how do you sell that? Because they're not going to say that in their fucking launch trailer. Don't worry if you were shit at Advanced Warfare 2, because now you'll only be playing against players exactly the same skill as you.
Yeah, like, exactly.
I don't know. I don't know how they would sell that, and I don't know if that would be a concern for the like marketing team, or if Activision would like think that way. I don't know, but like, what else are they going to do? Is the question. Because they're not going to do another World War II game if they have brains. I do think this would sell better than Vanguard, because we have not been beaten to fucking death with World War II games. Or excuse me, with fucking like future games. We have been beaten to death with World War II games. I mean, maybe they could do Korea or Vietnam, but we've kind of been beaten over the head with those too.
Either.
Exactly, yeah. So I think they're probably like, well, we could do another modern era game, so every dev studio is making modern era games. Or we could try touching the future again and just being more careful about it. And market it as super gritty, but with jetpacks. Like, I don't know. I don't know what they'll do.
Maybe also it wouldn't actually be called Advanced Warfare 2. It could even be something more like that futuristic aspect to it, but it have a totally new name to it. And for those people that weren't interested in Advanced Warfare, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, seriously, that'd be a better name for people, I think.
Yeah.
Putting the word warfare in there is actually good.
What if it was just like, Call of Duty Warfare?
Dude, that'd be the best selling COD of all time. Wouldn't you have to watch a trailer on it? Everyone would buy that.
Yeah.
I swear to God, that's also why Vanguard had such bad sales. Call of Duty Vanguard. It's just not a good name. It doesn't have that Modern Warfare, it doesn't have that Black Ops. It's just a boring name.
Vanguard. Yeah,
no one knows what it is. It's a terrible name. Terrible marketing. So I have a better idea. Don't let Sledgehammer develop games anymore. That's what you should be doing. They shouldn't be talking about their next game because their studio should not exist anymore. And also the other thing,
Vanguard just wasn't great. Yeah.
Is, MDub, we're getting a 2-year life cycle, and then now that's what people have been talking about lately is like what's going to happen with the next Treyarch game. And from what Ralph's Valve and Ghost of Hope said, this is set to release in 2025, meaning MDub 2 gets 2 year, and then Treyarch once again only gets 1 year. Kind of sucks for them again.
Yeah, I get pissed on.
Yep.
Dude, you know what would be fun? Imagine if Black Ops 4 or just any multiplayer COD, every single person by default, you don't even have to select it. You just get it by default like a jetpack, except instead of a jetpack, it's Ruin's fucking grapple hook, dude. How fun would that be?
That would be awesome.
That'd be so much fun. Sick, dude.
God, I miss Ruin so much,
It was so fun just Spider-Manning around, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit. They would never do that, but that would be really
Ruin was
fun.
a great guy.
Shout out to Ruin, friend of the pod. Shout out to the team wipe grab slam off Spawn and Dom round 2.
Firing range,
yeah. Shout out to that little trick.
Anyways, I don't know. I honestly can't see it, but then when you think about it, what else are they going to develop? Because Vanguard did do really bad, so it can't be just a sequel to Vanguard. Even if it's a World War II game, it has to act like it's its own new game again.
Yeah, I just don't think they're dumb enough to do World War II again. Everyone was pissed about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know, man.
I mean, they should be working on developing the game, so maybe figure out what the video game is going to be and start on it, right? Let's do that, Sledgehammer.
You know what another thing it could be, actually? Because we had heard leaks that turned out to not be true about Vanguard, about the game being like an alternate history, alternate universe game. They could do some goofy shit like that. It seems really obvious to me that they cannot do World War II, Korea, or Vietnam again.
Yeah.
And that leaves World War I, which they also can't do.
No.
Anything before that, which would be ill-advised. Or futuristic, which maybe they'll do. Modern, which maybe they will do. But that would be weird. I mean, how many modern storylines and modern settings are we going to have? That seems unlikely. So far, futuristic is most likely in my head. Or alternate universe shit. And those leaks came from something. There is some reason that was a leak. It was some idea that was spitballed at a board meeting once. Maybe that's the only genesis. Maybe they were more seriously thinking about it and were making demos or something. Maybe they were tentatively writing storylines. But I don't think the alternate storyline game for 2021 that was being leaked about the ultimate setting that Vanguard became, it wasn't alternate history. I don't think the genesis of that leak was someone just completely making it up. It came probably from something official somewhere at some point, sort of. And that makes me think maybe they do that too. I don't know.
We need a modern shooter that instead of like modern military type thing. It's like a modern civil war. No games ever do that
Dude,
anymore. I think that could be cool.
Alternate history Civil War game would be so fucking cool.
Because you could do like dope maps and shit too. It like reminds me of the Division games kind of, where it's like end of the world type shit. I know that that's like not what the Division is. It's from like some fucking disease or something that started killing everyone. But it like splits people, and I think something like that could be really interesting. Really cool maps and shit like that. I don't know. Do you remember that one game? I think it was called like Homeland or something.
That doesn't sound familiar, no.
What was it called? Homefront. Wasn't that something like that?
Who was it made by?
Homefront is a first-person shooter. Oh, never mind. No, it's not. It's the occupation of the United States by North Korea. So it's like we were attacked, and it was like you're some guy basically fighting North Korean army or whatever on American soil. See, I think they could do something interesting like that too, without going like futuristic and then without going back to World War II. Some sort of
boots on the ground in the United States, the United goddamn States of America.
That's what I'm saying. Games don't do that enough for some reason.
True.
They're always scared to like have the battle take place here.
That's a great point. Like World War III game. Like Russia and China actually fucking invade. They put boots on the ground in the United States. That would be a fucking fun game, because there are so many cool places like
exactly
that you could fight in the United States. Like what? Oh, there'd be so many dope fucking maps. Washington DC, obviously. Like the San Francisco Bridge. Yeah, one of the Six's multiplayer maps could be a fucking bombed out Google headquarters. Oh, that'd be so fun. You have to be dodging bum shit, or you like take fire damage because it's just fucking everywhere, and you're just blasting kids. The Google logo is like hanging off by a fucking nail. Oh, that'd be fun, dude. There's so many cool areas you could like make. Las Vegas, yeah, that would be everywhere. Cool. There's so many cool places. The United States is the best country in the world, obviously. So there are so many cool fucking locales that you could just engage in shooting other players in. That would be really cool.
Killing
that would be
other
really
players,
fun.
In game.
I think that's actually like a pretty easy solution. Is you just make a World War III game.
Yeah. So it's like still gives you like those modern vibes, boots on the ground that caters to people like that.
And you can make a whole new story.
Yeah, and it's a whole new story, and it feels like a different world.
And a new setting, which is the United States. Yeah, I like that idea a lot. I think that would be super cool.
I always want devs to do that, and people just don't make video games like that. I don't know if they're like fucking scared to bring the battle to the United States or what it is. It's like they're petrified of it. I'm not sure. Or they think it could like get too political almost or something, like the storyline over it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird.
But whatever.
I think this is true. There have never been foreign boots like enemy, like in an official war on United States soil ever. I think I've heard that somewhere. I think it's true. What wars have we been in? You know, never been a boot on the ground.
Other than spies, we haven't had tanks rolling through like downtown LA other than our own, government. Yeah, like spies police.
And shit, obviously. But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Cool. A game where that happens for the first time. I don't know if this quote is real. Many people. It's not. What
I know which one you're talking about. The Japanese admiral.
It's fake, right?
It's fake, yeah.
That's so sad. Where did it come from then? Did some fucking
some super right
wing gold member like come up with it, or
some super like right wing like gun lover came up with that one?
I wish it was a real quote.
No, it's partly true, but something about it is wrong.
The quote we're talking about is like the lore, and we'll give you the actual lore. Tanner's looking it up. But the lore quote is that in World War II, there was some Japanese admiral or general or some shit who said like, you can't invade the mainland United States because hiding behind every blade of grass is a patriot with a gun or something. Some dope fucking quote like that, which is absolutely true, by the way. Good luck invading the United States. But apparently it's like a fake news quote. It's not real, or it's missing context or something. Any details?
The quote was supposedly from Admiral Yamamoto, you cannot invade mainland United States. There'd be a rifle behind each blade of grass. This quote is unsubstantiated and almost certainly bogus, even though it has been repeated thousands of times throughout various internet postings. There's no proof or writing that this was ever said by him.
Yeah.
So I think Alex Jones was put that out there.
Black helicopters.
Yeah. Great quote, though. But anyway, that would be cool. But I don't know. The fact that the people are talking about Advanced Warfare, we'll keep you guys posted, but also that's supposedly in 2025. Activision's changed plans before, and this isn't even confirmed yet, so don't get your hopes or panties in a bunch up yet. Because we just have no idea. And a lot can change between now and then. So
yeah. Moving
on.
Another interesting leak here. Wow. This is coming from the Ghost of Hope.
Okay.
But wait, there's more. Okay. To celebrate 20 years of Call of Duty, a paid Greatest Hits map pack is in development. On top of Modern Warfare 2 2009 maps, these would also include other classics from Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer's catalog, which would all be playable in Modern Warfare 2 Year 2, which probably means 2023.
Yeah, it's probably 23.
So we talked about this a while ago. About a month ago, we mentioned this because Ghost of Hope had tweeted this out saying Infinity Ward is planning to release almost every Modern Warfare 2 map, including some other ones in Year 2. And we had a whole discussion about that. So this sounds like complete and utter fucking cap, but Tom Henderson wrote an article on this. Again, his website is insider-gaming.com. You can go to Tom Henderson's Twitter. He has it all linked there. So early in September, Ghost of Hope revealed that Infinity Ward was planning to release almost all the maps from 2009 Modern Warfare 2. According to Hope, Infinity Ward will also be releasing the Greatest Hits map pack with classic maps from every Call of Duty developer too. Insider Gaming has been able to independently verify that the plan will be for Infinity Ward to release premium DLC in its Year 2 offering. So understood, the premium DLC offering is a way for Activision to maintain its premium sales through 2023 and into the first half of 2024. Unfortunately, we are unable to verify the exact contents of the planned DLC, but remastered maps are its foundation. A premium DLC offering isn't new for Call of Duty, the last offering being Black Ops 3 Zombie Chronicles, which players could purchase for $29.99. So that's it.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. This makes sense to me. So this is something we talked about as soon as we heard there was going to be no big title for 23. We Tanner and I asked the obvious to us question, which is, how else is Activision going to fill its pockets for that year? Because they're not just going to not make a game and then sit on their laurels, as it were. So the question then is, how do they fill that revenue hole? And according to Tom, there is something that they're going to be doing with premium DLC in 2023, the year we had said, to make up for that loss in revenue that they won't be getting from releasing a main title. So what I'm hearing here is Tom is saying, yeah, Infinity Ward is making DLC that you can pay for Year 2 to make up for that revenue hole. However, I definitely haven't heard that it's a Greatest Hits map pack. And I will reiterate once again, I don't believe that it would be that. I totally believe Infinity Ward is planning on and will follow through with selling DLC for Call of Duty. I find that imminently believable, especially in lieu of a main title. They're going to make their money somehow. DLC makes perfect sense. Games have been doing this for a very long time now. And that would not surprise me at all. But specifically, this map pack thing of like the Greatest Hits maps from all three dev studios, I find still wildly unbelievable. Why would
It'd be dope, but yeah,
it would be cool, kind of. So like, first of all, that is a lot of fucking maps to remaster. Number one, if we're taking the Greatest Hits, potentially it's a lot. I mean, I guess they could pick as few maps as they want, but like, it's really easy, I would imagine, for Infinity Ward to take a an old Infinity Ward game that they made the map for, dust it off a little bit, and then re-release it on their new game that is a very similar like engine. That seems like very easy to do from a development standpoint. But for them to take a 2010 Treyarch game and remaster that map, they're going to know the layout of the map, but they're basically going to have to do it from scratch. They could do that. They definitely can do that. And they're going to have more resources freed up by dev studios who are not making a main title they otherwise would be. It's possible, but kind of weird. And also, again, does that mean they're just going to not remaster maps for every new season like they have been doing? Or they're going to remaster some and then sell you other ones? And then how is queuing for multiplayer going to work? Like if you have
that's
the
my
map
biggest
pack,
question.
You can get it in your like pool. Is there going to be a dedicated playlist and you can't get your remaster maps outside of the dedicated playlist? How is that going to work? I just don't see them doing this. I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I found it not likely either, but I mean, Tom did say in the article, remastered maps are its foundation. So,
oh, really? Of
yeah,
the DLC?
that's that line I read. He said they were unable to verify the exact contents of the DLC, but remastered maps are its foundation.
Oh, yeah. Huh. Interesting. Really weird.
It could make sense because Activision is obviously very well aware at the quick rate that multiplayer games die now that aren't a BR. Vanguard, Cold War, not so much MW because Warzone came out later. It'll be the same thing this year with Warzone 2 coming out after launch. Even if the new game is really good, multiplayer is going to take a massive player base hit when Warzone 2 launches. So, you know, they think way later down the line, selling this map pack could bring nostalgia to the game, bring a bunch of players back that haven't played in a long time, bring a ton of content for streamers and YouTubers to play the game, and basically push sales without giving them anything to do other than, you know, them releasing Terminal in a map pack that costs money, and then all the YouTubers like Terminal in, you know, 2023, blah blah, and then everyone who watches
they play it for
Swag's channels
and never play it again.
Yeah, everyone that watches Swag on YouTube will be like, oh shit, I can play Terminal now, and boom, they're gonna go buy the map pack. So it would sell very well, but I thought the same thing as it comes down to how do they queue for that now with cross input, cross platform? It
and
sounds
SBMM.
Yeah, I mean, like BO. Yeah, I don't know how that would work.
Because in BO4 there was no there were sometimes dedicated playlists probably, but in general there was no dedicated playlist. And if you owned the DLC maps, you just had a chance to get into a lobby with everyone else who also purchased the DLC maps and then play on one of them. It was like a possibility, but it wasn't like its own dedicated playlist in general. And if they were going to do that for the new game, for the new multiplayer, then you're like making SBMM way less effective. Because now you have this separate group of people that there are way fewer of in a separate pool of, again, DLC owners. So then in the DLC owner games, the SBMM just will be less strict because there are fewer people who will own the DLC than won't. Or I mean, maybe not, but probably.
Yeah, for sure.
But my thing, actually, I kind of disagree with you. I feel like this wouldn't sell that well, and that's why this is, again, kind of unbelievable to me. Because if this comes out in year 2, by year 2 of MW2, Warzone 2 will be out, and DMZ will be out, and everyone's going to be over multiplayer again. Like, pretty soon. And then if they sell a bunch of maps for it, even if they're great maps, I just don't think most people are going to give a shit. Like, streamers will buy it and make videos on it for sure. But like the average Call of Duty player I know now doesn't play multiplayer. So I feel like if they did this, it would be a lot of work and it just wouldn't actually sell that well because multiplayer is not that popular anymore. And because of that, selling this kind of DLC, I don't think would make up for the loss in revenue of not selling a main title.
Oh, so certainly not. No.
Yeah, so maybe they're going to do this and other shit. I mean, they're definitely going to do this and other shit if they're going to do this at all. This is definitely not going to be the only thing, obviously. But still, I don't know. I just don't think it would sell that well, and I find it kind of hard to believe. However, if Tom is saying remastered maps is at the core of Infinity Ward's DLC for next year, I believe that. I believe Tom. Like, that's kind of where I'm at. So I don't know. Maybe it's exactly as Ghost of Hope is saying, but it seems weird. But then on the other hand, what other DLC are they going to sell? How else are they going to make the money?
Yeah, exactly.
Remastered maps, I guess, is a good
and even
way.
if someone hasn't played multiplayer for a long time, if they see that they have big remastered maps in the game, you know, like say High Rise, Terminal and stuff, people will buy it. I mean, people buy what is the battle pass every time in Warzone? $10, or what's the other version? $20?
$20 and you get tier skips with
so
it.
If they sell a whole map pack for $20, that'll sell like crazy. For how much money people spend on Warzone now just for like the tier skips and shit, this will absolutely sell for $20 if they give you like 15 maps or so. Even if people haven't played multiplayer for a long time, I think people would buy it just to go back and play for a little while, honestly. But yeah, I mean, it's certainly obviously not going to cover their loss from not having a main title game. But, you know, we'll see. Because you are right, though, too. It's like, then every season, are they just not going to release any older map? Are we only getting like new maps from here on out? And then they're going to market like year 2 as like remastered Modern Warfare 2, actually.
Yeah.
And then here's all the maps. Here's your ACR finally, or some shit, you know? Maybe it's like a Modern Warfare 2 whole like remaster type thing where they put in a bunch of those guns at one time too. You get guns, you get maps.
That would be such a glorious scam.
Yeah, excellent scam. Which is, that makes so much sense, you know?
Yeah. We're gonna know this is true by season 1, because if season 1 comes out and there are no remastered maps, that'll be kind of a red flag, and that'll make this more believable. And what would make this even more believable is if season 1 comes out and they remaster the most obscure random map no one likes,
true,
from like Modern Warfare 3 or some shit. Like some map that none of us are going to remember. Like, oh yeah, okay. Like if they remaster that in season 1 for free, then it's like, okay, they're probably holding the good ones.
Yeah, and it's like, okay. Sell. And then if season 2 rolls around, we still don't get any. You're saying, okay, yep, we're not getting any at all. We're going to have to pay for it.
Yeah. So my big thing here is like, I'm not mad at this. I don't really care. I'd buy it if I was still playing multiplayer, and I wouldn't buy it if I wasn't. And also, I just don't think it matters that much. If I've got to play a bunch of good maps from older games, and it would be cool, but it's just not that big of a deal. This wouldn't be that big of a deal, I don't think. And maybe I'm just saying that because I just don't play sixes that much anymore, and I don't plan on it. If we're going to have ground war, like, I don't think I'm going to care about this at all. I don't know, man. I don't think it would sell that well. I really don't.
It would absolutely sell that well. Would it retain the player base? No.
Well, definitely it wouldn't retain the player base, of course.
It's like the same thing with people wanting like remastered Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. It's like, why do you want that?
Campaign sold.
It'd be the same shit, but if they released that, everyone would buy it. So it would sell great. It's just no one would be playing it a week later. And I think this would be the same thing. They could market this so well. It'd be so easy to buy it. You'd launch Warzone. It'd be right there in the store. Oh, buy the map pack for Modern Warfare. It'd be they'd make it too easy. Everyone would just buy it.
I think if you're the type of player who just doesn't play multiplayer, and there are a lot of them, arguably the majority of Call of Duty players, at least at certain points in the last 2 years, 3 years, have just like literally not played multiplayer at all. Like, think of all your favorite streamers. Most of them just never play multiplayer, actually.
No.
And like a lot of the players in our Discord, they just don't play multiplayer ever. You know?
No.
Like, so I don't think they would buy it. And I think that's a lot of the player base. But yeah, you're right. I mean, someone who plays any amount of multiplayer will probably buy it. Yeah, that's probably true. I don't know. In either case, my big thing now is like, I hope things of this import are not the only things that are filling the revenue hole. Because this is going to get boring inside of a week. And it would get boring way faster than a new game would. So hopefully they have some other way to make money besides a fucking DLC map pack that would actually like retain my interest for a while. Because if we're not getting a new main game and the way they're filling their pockets instead is with shit like this that'll be interesting for a week max, that'll suck a lot. That's my biggest thing. But I don't know. If Tom says it's something like this, then I guess I believe it, but it's kind of crazy. I don't know. So anyway. Last thing is a little bit more about Doug Censor Martin. He had done his scam stream that we talked about, and we are a know nothing podcast, so take what we say here with a grain of salt. And once again, by the way, and I'm unashamedly, I will tell you, once again, didn't look into it at all. Don't care enough to. But I saw some tweets, so I'm going to talk about it. Doug went live again with like a video, and he said he was going to like talk about Nadia, who's the poster girl for internet misogyny or whatever. I don't know. Whatever. And he said he was going to expose her or something, and then he did a stream, but it was really just a video. And it ended up being a joke where Censor like rides a jet ski to Rebirth Island, where Nadia like plays a lot, gets off of the jet ski. He's in like a little Chippendale bow tie suit thing with no shirt on. Cool.
Great looking kid.
Great looking kid though. Yeah. Gets on one knee and proposes to her. And then she tweets like, "Hey, I'm a lesbian, dork."
Yeah, she is actually a lesbian, by the way. Yes,
yeah,
that is true.
So then that was it. But like, he did that stream and didn't expose a single player. And as far as I know, by the way, this whole program he has to expose cheaters, he still has exposed the one guy in Vanguard rank play.
He hasn't
correct?
even talked about this in a few days, so I think he'll never bring it up again, and he's waiting for everyone to forget, and it seems like most people have forgotten already. Yep. I don't think he'll ever discuss these cheating things again, because whatever he was supposedly using doesn't work.
Yep. And instead of like saying that or addressing it, he just made like a meme video that we're now talking about.
Yeah, it worked great for him.
I mean, kudos to him, honestly. An absolutely fantastic debate.
He's a Chad.
And get your money. But, you know, and it's not his fault. Like, I'm not blaming him for doing literally any of this. I think it's funny. And if you're mad you wasted your time or money going to his live stream the first time when he made the 600 subs or whatever, that you didn't get the cheater expose you were hoping for, you fucking deserve to get scammed. If people were cheating and he exposed them on his stream, go on Twitter that night or the next day and you will find an article and like a curated video for you. You don't have to be there for the whole fucking stream, and you certainly don't have to sub. So you guys all deserve to get scammed, if it even was a scam, which I'm tongue-in-cheek saying I don't really think it was. He wasn't like saying, "Oh, I exposed cheaters behind this paywall. Give me your Visa card." He wasn't doing that. So like, it wasn't actually a scam. It's just like kind of funny to say that. And then the Nadia thing is fucking funny too. He's got eyeballs on him and he capitalizes. And knowing that his little cheat crawler thing doesn't work, or maybe never did, or maybe there never was one. And instead of talking about that, he just capitalizes on all the attention and proposes to Nadia in a joking way in a funny video. Good for you, man. Welcome to the internet. This is what you do. So, I mean, I don't know. I find it funny, but if you think that Censor is just sitting on the documents and he's going to expose Warzone streamers soon, I mean, don't hold your breath, man. And you're outside of your mind. And you're a fucking idiot if you think he has a list that he's sitting on. He doesn't. And he'll never find out. If Activision can't do it, as incompetent as they are, Doug and some guy he's friends with certainly aren't going to. So I don't know what the fuck you guys were ever expecting anyway. I don't know. It's just insane to me. I also saw a Bad Boy Beeman tweet about some article that says like, "Oh, the lawsuit." Apparently in the lawsuit against engine owning, Activision has alleged in some court documents that some high profile streamers use engine owning. And then Bad Boy Beeman tweeted this as some big own. That vindicates all of the videos he's made accusing just random people who probably almost certainly don't cheat of cheating. Like, this is vindication of that. Like, no one was ever disputing that there isn't a single big streamer who cheats. Tanner and I have said this. There's definitely some people who stream who are fairly popular who cheat. Like, there's no way there aren't.
Yep.
And some of them have already been caught. More probably will be. But Activision admits that, and now Bad Boy Beeman was right about every YouTube video he made.
And no, I don't think Nadia cheats. Those of you
absolutely not.
And asking us every day.
I have seen
she
Nadia
has the same
gameplay.
amount of aim assist as you. She just has way higher game IQ and way better movement than you. So her aim looks a lot better because she knows how to abuse aim assist, and you are dog shit and can't.
She looks like a really good controller player to me. She does not look even remotely like she's cheating. Yeah.
She's also been going around. She's been playing at the FaZe house, dropping high kill games like she does out in her own setup. She played at like the TSM warehouse or some big gaming org, played on their setup, dropped high kill games. So, and people just still think she's cheating. It's insane.
Yeah, I find
fucking idiots.
Yeah, it's and also, why do you guys care so much? It's the biggest question, isn't it? The answer, of course, is because you can't stand that a woman exists on Earth who would fuck your ass in a Call of Duty game. That's unironically why she is getting so much more attention than any other random Warzone streamer who uses a controller. That's unironically why. It's because she's like a cute girl that is like better than all these wannabe TikTokers who are like seething that she's good. That's literally all it is. And it's really funny. But yeah, no, it's not. If you slow down any controller player's gameplay and watch it frame by frame, it kind of looks sus. Yeah. Hey, you don't have to tell me and Tanner that. That's what aim assist is. Duh. Of course it looks like it is cheating in a sense. I mean, it's an engine.
I mean, it's not human, yes.
It's literally inhuman aim, yes. But that's by design. She's not cheating. Yeah. She's just using aim assist, as she should, and as all of you should. And I'm not mad if you use a controller. I have some issues with how Activision's chosen to implement specifically rotational aim assist. So don't get mad if you use a controller. I don't blame you. I would use one too if I had a fucking brain, but I'm a retard. So anyway. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So, all right. Other than that, Tanner, anything else?
No.
All right. So
see you guys next week.
That is it. We will see you guys next week. There won't be a live stream for the Saturday ep. The Patreon gone public, but it will go public. So if you wanted to watch that episode live, I'm going to put it up sometime on Saturday. I might even fuck around and schedule it to release exactly at 12 p.m. Saturday. Don't count on it, but maybe. And that'll be on YouTube, and it'll be in the RSS feed. If you are already a patron and you've already heard the episode, then we are sorry, but we deserve a single break once in a while, and we're going to take one. Because we're going to be ramping up super hard once MW2 comes out, and we're going to be really pedal to the metal, full steam ahead. So we're going to take the time now when nothing's really happening to just get a little break in, hang out. And, hey, here, I'll phrase it in a way where none of you can object. We're going to take a mental health day, and you're going to like it. And if you don't accept us taking a mental health day, I will cancel you on the internet. As soon as I bring up mental health, you're no longer allowed to be critical of it. So we're taking a mental health day on Saturday. So if you're already a patron, sorry. And if you're not a patron, it's going to be a really good episode. We've already recorded it. It's still as relevant now as it was then. Check that out. And then if you enjoy the episode, patreon.com/thedropshot is the best way to support the show. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Thank you for watching and listening. Have an excellent evening and stay humble.
Stay humble.